you can do a breakdown after this. Get the crowd like live. That's a wrap. Day 2, VIVE Worship's first ever songwriting retreat. We laughed, we cried, we are tired, and we had a whole bunch of fun writing these songs for our church. So we left the writing retreat with Yes and Amen. That was 90% done. We still had a little bit to write. We left with Chasing After You. That was complete. Nothing Less was complete. And Praise. Praise was the first one we wrote. We finished that. We had a couple of ideas for songs, but nothing other than that. We did a Zoom session, wrote Always All Good.
Let me show you roughly the track I was doing for it. But like if it was this vibe.
And then Wonder still wasn't even finished. Like we went into the studio the morning of.
Feeling good, yeah. I think it's gonna be a good session today.
You ready?
Feeling good. Spilt on my shirt a little bit, but
see, it's like everyone's chill, but I'm like, guys, we don't have a second verse to Wonder, and she's gonna track this in an hour. We're finishing vocals today. Yes. And we're gonna sing a song called Wonder. Mm-hmm. But we're all wondering what the last verse lyrics are.
I think it's gonna be good because
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Because we are still laboring over these lyrics.
Because it's just 3 lines. He's supposed to have this song written before you go in the studio. So all the band, we were like, just play your parts and, you know, something will be there by the time we're done. And it was.
Great, man. Sounds awesome. Let's get a couple more just like that.
Well, let me tell you this. Joe Pringle is pretty much the reason I'm leading worship today. He was worship leading when I lived in Australia, and I was like, man, this guy just has authority. And I didn't really know Joe that well. I think I'd played with him once at a conference. He's just been my personal inspiration. So when we started doing the songs, and then we were like, do you think we could get Joe to sing a song? We're like, well, it doesn't hurt to ask. Let's ask if he'd be interested. And at the last minute, we asked him to sing This Is the Gospel. And he said, sure, I'll give it a go. He took it up a key, up to the key of D, and absolutely destroyed it. We actually talked about this song, Wild, 1.5 years earlier. And it was like super impactful that I remember, like, that's why I got the tattoo that I did, because it really impacted me. This idea of wild faith. And then we never did anything. We never finished a song. And so he re-brought back the idea of wild.
The concept of wild came out of my living room. I had a little sound bite in my mind that I wanted it to match.
He just heard something in his head that none of us had heard.
Yeah.
There was just this really kind of grungy, out of our traditional kind of theme. Ruben got a bit of a bass line, and then we just really heard this really kind of bluesy, heavy, dirty guitar sound.
So this would be like over the verse.
I wanted to communicate a message of wild faith. That's what we live at VIVE.
After Wild, then that same day, we had Rob, our producer, online, Pastor Adam and I in the same room, and then Paola and Ruben on Zoom. Paola had to go to a meeting, so she left when we wrote Majesty. Bye. Now, she's the melody girl, so I was like, crap.
You got lyrics?
Not lyrics, we just don't have a melody.
Pastor Adam's like, hey, I'm going to get a coffee. Can you just give Rob a melody real quick? You brought your guitar, like, pull it out, play it.
Nice. I like that.
This is pretty cool.
This is really cool.
Heaven fills the earth with glory. Every hidden part of me.
We were kind of trying to get a particular sound and a particular voice for the song Majesty, and we auditioned. I'm going to say we probably auditioned dozens of different singers for that song, and none of them all amazing singers, don't get me wrong, but just didn't have that specific sound. And then, you know, I remember when hearing Deb's recording.
I heard it and wasn't too sure. Paola heard it and said, no, she can do this. She can sing this song.
I just felt the song needed like a unique, distinct voice that people hadn't really heard before. And I don't think a lot of people had heard Deb at that point.
Locking in Deb, that was the final piece of the puzzle. I had all the lead vocals locked, but now I needed a choir that I didn't have.
One of the cool things about this album is that we got to echo the sound of our church in the form of a choir.
We are so excited to announce that We Love Christian Music Awards has nominated Yes and Amen for the Best Church Worship Album of the Year. Yes and Amen is the sound of VIVE Church, and we invite you to be a part of bringing home the prize. Head to the link in the description to vote for VIVE Worship, Category 5, Best Church Worship Album of the Year. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow up on Spotify to keep up to date with all of VIVE Worship releases.